Welcome to tonight's Blue Christmas time of reflection. Although the seasons of Advent and Christmas are joyful for many, we also know that this holiday season can be drenched in fatigue, grief, and loneliness for others. For some, it is all of these, joyful and weird. Tonight we gather together as a community to honor that reality. We gather together as a community to draw near to God and to one another, and to allow space for healing and prayer. This is a night of reflection, prayer, communion, and candlelight. If you did not pick up communion elements on your way in, you're invited to do that before the end of the service. Maybe you're struggling this holiday season with grief over a loss or loneliness, or you're simply feeling overwhelmed. Maybe this past year has been particularly difficult for you. Maybe you're just exhausted or lonely or feeling disconnected from yourself or God or others. Maybe this particular season doesn't hold much struggle for you personally, but you're here to remember and to hold space for someone you know and love who is struggling. Maybe you're here because you look at so much in our world that is wounded and broken and you long for something different. Maybe it's a mixture of all of this. In preparation for our time tonight, I invite you to take a deep breath in and then release it. To release any tension you may feel in your jaw, to roll your shoulders up and back, plant your feet comfortably on the floor. Release the weariness from your body into the ground below us and allow your body to feel lighter. Imagine the Spirit of God hovering close in this room, for surely God is present here with us tonight. In the midst of our time tonight, we'll also talk of peace and hope to be found in God, and you may, at this particular point of your journey in life, find it hard to believe that such peace and hope is possible. That's okay. Don't add shame over that to your struggles. Others of us gathered here tonight will believe and hold space for you. May we bring our honest selves to God this evening. As we gather here tonight, tears may flow, and if you need tissues, you'll find them in the back and at the side of the chapel. We begin tonight by acknowledging we, along with the weary world, are waiting, crying, hoping, and longing.
Our hope is born tonight. The whole world is waiting. The whole world cries. We hear the cries for justice and the longing to be free. You are the one who heals it, who shows us what can be. We believe our love can change things. We will not let time be. Oh, the power of love is with us when we are afraid. Though trouble may surround us, we can find your love shines like a candle. We will hold it close and say, the power of love is with us when we are afraid. The whole world is waiting. The whole world crying. The whole world is waiting for the dawn to rise. Like you, sweet Jesus, our hope is born tonight. The whole world is waiting. The whole world cries.
A weary world is waiting. Maybe our weary selves are waiting. Reverend Sarah Speed wrote a poem, Weariness Feels Like. I want to share with you. Weariness feels like an ache in your bones or a slow leak from the heart. A leak that causes hope to pull at your feet. Weariness feels like the wind knocked out of you. All of a sudden, it's impossible to breathe. Weariness feels like an oversized coat. It catches on door handles and knocks over water glasses. You turn into a clumsy mess. Weariness can hit you all at once. When the phone rings, when the bill arrives, when the news service sends your phone a breaking news alert of another tragedy. But weariness can also hem and haw its way into your life. And one short poem cannot change this truth. The weary state of our grief-stricken hearts. But one short poem can remind you the one thing we so often forget. That I can wear your jacket for a while. And we can try to stop the leak in your heart. And if that doesn't work, then we'll stand under the night sky to look at the stars and remember that we do not walk this valley alone. Friends, in the Advent season, we light candles, hope, peace, joy, and love. And tonight we come to light Advent candles as well. We light the Advent candle of hope. Tonight we light it for all who feel hopeless. Tonight this light shines bright for prisoners, for patients with chronic illnesses, for individuals fighting to get out of debt, for refugees waiting for a safe place to rest, for relationships that have no clear way forward. Tonight we light this candle for the hopeless. Take a moment where you are to bring to mind and pray for those you know who struggle for hope, including yourself, if that is your story as well. May God's hope find us now. In this season, we also light the candle of peace. Tonight, we light the candle of peace for all who need peace. This light shines bright for the anxious and unsettled, for those in seasons of transition, for those who struggle with mental health, for people navigating new beginnings. It shines for those who live in war-torn places with rubble and trauma, most of what remains. It shines for those who experience violence in other forms and the wounds it leaves, literally and figuratively. Take a moment to bring to mind and pray for those who need peace, including yourself, if that is your story. May God's peace find us now. In this season, we also light the Advent candle of joy. Tonight, we light the candle of joy for all who need it. May this light shine for those who are overburdened, overstretched, worn out, and worn down. For those whose hearts are heavy with grief and loss. Take a moment to bring to mind and pray for those who need joy, including yourself, if that is your story. May God's joy find us now. Tonight we also light the candle of love. Tonight we light the candle of love for all who need it. May this light shine for our loved ones lost, for love perhaps that has been betrayed or rejected, for love that has been neglected or forgotten, and for all who long for love and find themselves lonely. Take a moment to bring to mind and pray for those who need love, including yourself, if that is your story. May God's love find us now. Tonight you're invited to hear some scriptures that give voice to lament and ache and longing and hope. From Psalm 126, It seemed like a dream too good to be true when God returned Zion's exiles. We laughed, we sang, we couldn't believe our good fortune. We were the talk of the nations. God was wonderful to them. God was wonderful to us. We are one happy people. And now, God, do it again. Bring rain to our drought-stricken lives, so those who planted their crops in despair will shout yes at the harvest. Those who went off with heavy hearts will come home laughing, with armloads of blessing. Hear these words from Lamentations chapter 3. The memory of my suffering and homelessness is bitterness and poison. I can't help but remember and am depressed. I call all this to mind. Therefore, I will wait. Certainly, the faithful love of the Lord hasn't ended. Certainly, God's compassion isn't through. They are renewed every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I think the Lord is my portion. Therefore, I will wait for the Lord. Then hear these words from the Gospel of Matthew, words of Jesus. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. You will find rest for your souls. I invite you once again to revisit your body in this moment, because we feel weariness not just in our spirits, we feel burdens not just in our hearts, we feel them in our bodies too. If you still feel tension in your neck or shoulders, try to release, relax that. Place your hands in your lap, palms up. And I invite you to make a clenched fist and then to slowly release it until your palm is open. And let that movement and posture invite you into opening yourself up to God. Palms up, ready to release what is making you weary, and ready to receive comfort, presence. And I invite you to reflect silently where you are. Where do you need comfort in your life right now? What does weariness feel like for you in this season? Who or what is heavy on your heart? Who or what are you praying for this time? Each of us comes bearing our own hurts and sorrows and broken places. And I want to invite each of you to offer your personal weariness, your wounds, your burdens to the God who loves each of us deeply and wants to carry our pain. This time I'd invite you, if you would like, to come forward and light one of the small tea candles on the table. Depending on where you are personally in this season, the candles may represent your grief over a loved one you've lost and miss. You may represent a light to shine in the midst of your own struggles with depression or anxiety. Maybe a reminder of God's presence in the midst of your loneliness. It might shine for the hope for healing in the midst of a broken or strained or lost relationship. It may shine for your longing for peace in the midst of health struggles or financial problems or difficult choices. It You may want to light a candle as a sign of hope in the midst of the violence and division and brokenness in our world. You may want to light a candle in remembrance of others who are struggling in these or other ways this season. This time I invite any who would like to come forward and to take one of the lighters you'll find on the table to light the candle. As we gather tonight, we also gather for a time of communion. And at our church, the table is welcome to all and open to all. No matter who you are, where you come from, what you believe or struggle to believe, we hold that at this table we encounter Jesus, who makes a place for everyone. And as we observe communion tonight, we use bread made from wheat that has been broken off and crushed, and grape juice that comes from grapes plucked from the vines and also crushed. And if you're feeling bruised or broken or crushed this holiday season, you're remembering someone who is, may you find sustenance and strength from this bread and juice made from things broken and crushed as well. This is the bread of life and the cup of salvation. Thanks be to God. When Jesus gathered with his friends, he took the bread and he blessed it and he broke it. And then he gave it to them, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body given for you." Take it. In the same way, Jesus took the cup and he gave thanks, and then he passed it to them, saying, "This cup poured out for you is the promise of God made in my sacrifice. Each time you drink from this cup, remember me." And we drink together. Would you join me in prayer? God of our joy and God of our weariness, we have brought our worn down hearts to you this night. Hearts full of grief, hearts carrying fear, hearts tender to the touch. We have brought our weariness to you this night because we want to trust that you are present with us in the valleys. We know that you were born into a quiet night like this one. So surely our tears and our aches from this night are not unfamiliar to you. So as we prepare to leave the safe protection of this space, as we prepare to return to the fullness of our lives, we ask that you would continue to walk with us. Stay by our side throughout the valley. Stay by our side as we walk ahead. Just stay close. And in the midst of weary hearts and a weary world, we need your help to make our way to hope and peace and joy and love. Hold us in your love, God. Amen. As people who are familiar with the shadows, we also know that we gather to be illumined by the light of the Christ child this Christmas season. Jesus comes in the midst of the pain and the struggle and the messy realities of this world, then and now. May the Christ child bring you comfort and peace. After I share our benediction, the service will conclude, and you're welcome to leave quietly at that time. But you're also welcome, if you would like, to linger, to reflect, to soak in the candlelight, to pray, to cry. This is a space set aside for you tonight as long as you need. May you hear these words of benediction. As you leave this place, you go into a weary world. So speak tenderly. Do the good that is yours to do. Choose connection. Hold on to hope. And remember that Christ took on flesh for you. You are God's beloved. Amen. You're welcome to depart quietly and remain as long as you like.